Okay, it seems to be working. Okay. Welcome everyone. Please welcome with me our speaker, Anett Numa. She is a digital transformation advisor at the e-Estonia briefing center. And today she will talk about how to start and run an EU-based company online with the Estonia's E-Residency.
So all the way for me, right, I guess.
Yes, sure.
All right. Then first of all, hello to everyone, and I hope you have already had a wonderful Saturday day to hear so many wonderful stories from the startup founders and all the different interesting people who have been giving their keynotes today. So I'm happy that I was able to join also today to share the story from the Estonian side, because we would like to offer everyone in the world a chance to do a remote business without having to go through any kind of hustle in any way. So I'm here today to cover the solution called E-Residency, which I hope most of you have already heard about, but of course also to talk about what kind of business environment Estonia is providing to its citizens, and of course also for all of you there who are looking for a place where to start the business. So I'm going to tell you why Estonian business environment is friendly and why we'll be happy to have you guys all joining us here in Estonia. But I would be happy to also to join my screen. So I'm going to show you some of the slides as well. So you have something else than just my face look at here. So for the 25 minutes for my presentation side, and then you all can also ask questions at the very end for the 10 last minutes also. So please prepare some of the questions, because I'm pretty sure you have something in your mind that you have been keen to ask as well here. But let's go over, and I'm gonna be sharing my screen with you. And I do hope that you all are able to see that now. So a few words about myself as well here is that, as already introduced before, I'm working as a digital transformation advisor. So what I do every day at the Estonia Briefing Center is to help different government agencies from all across the world to design their digital future, and do you help them to develop all these solutions, starting from the e-governance solutions, and of course also e-business environment, and cybersecurity, and everything that has to do with online services. So today, when I was preparing for this presentation here, I was thinking that I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes also to introduce or to explain you why Estonia has been so successful, especially in this field. So just a background story as well, what kind of things we can do online in general when we put business aside, and how do we provide the very safest environment, both for the business side and also for every single citizen, for the user services that we can use here. And then we're going to jump all the way to the business side. So we're going to talk about the opportunities for the startups here. And I have some great news, which was released also in media for you, but let's keep that for the very end of this presentation side here. But to start with, so just to explain you where Estonia is today, I'm pretty sure all of you have heard that we are a pretty young country in that sense, and also very small country. So Estonia has been independent just for 29 years now. So we regained our independence at 1991. So obviously by that time, we really had tons of different problems. We had corruption, we were lacking of money in many sectors. And one thing that also has a lot to do with the business environment was the trust. So the trust was pretty much missing in all of our sectors. And we realized from the government side that that needs to be rebuilt as soon as possible. And of course, also when we were looking in a way that we have very tiny population side, but I wouldn't say the smallest distance or the area side here. So we also realized that people have been divided all across the state here, and there are still some Estonians who also live abroad, and we want everyone to get access to our public services no matter where they are. We by the way have a lot of tiny islands here in Estonia, which we like to think about in a way that everyone Estonia likes to have the distance, and especially when I think about this today, we have been able to provide this chance to everyone. If they want to be away from the cities, then they can also live on these tiny islands or small towns in the middle of the forest. And what was necessary for us was to provide a chance that everyone could decide the best location for their, where they would inspired and where they would like to do their things. And one of the first things that we needed to provide to people was a very good internet connection. So that internet is today covering the entire state here. So that doesn't matter where you are, you can get access to the services because there is always a good internet connection. And if you ever happen to travel to Estonia, I'm wishing you very good luck to find a place where you wouldn't find internet connection on your phone. But today also, just to speak in general, we have 99% of our public services working online. And the only things that we can't do online is just getting married and divorced. But also turning the time of the crisis, we changed one thing that is also very important for the business sector. And this is doing all of your transactions when you want to buy apartments or houses, also that you can do that online with our verification application. So there is absolutely no need to go to notary for these transactions anymore. Because we realized that the impact for the economical system would be way too big if people wouldn't be able to buy properties and apartments for a couple of months when the notaries were closed. So one of the reasons why we've been able to put all of these services online is because Estonia also introduced its ID card since the year of 2002 already. So since the past 18 years, we already have had also electronic ID cards, which have been used by 98% of our population today. And that provides our people a very, very simple way to manage all of their documents fully online and getting access to that e-business environment as well. But of course, we do a lot of work also to provide a very secure system for our citizens here. So one example for that is that Estonia is also the first country in the world who started using blockchain on a national level. So to make sure that all of our information is being saved very, very securely. And also I can tell you that blockchain has been also used in our e-business register. So to make all these transactions and everything very, very secure. And one of the very, very essential things for our businesses is, of course, also a way that they can sign all of their documents by using electronic ID cards or digital signature. And just by using this solution, so every single citizen here saves 5 days per year, but this number is just for a user citizen. But when we talk about even people who run business, then I guess the number might be even bigger. And when we think about this 5 days, then I always like to think about in a way that this is like getting an extra week of vacation because you can use online signature. And the government saves 2% of GDP by using this solution. So that's also a very good example what kind of great things these solutions can provide to us. And just a random fact that I also put on this slide here is that when one could think about in a way that how far this entire process of digitalization could go, then Estonia has taken to the farthest level because we have been already also voting online since the past 15 years. But to move over here, so one thing before we jump all the way to the e-residency and our business environment, one thing that I wanted to show you as well here is our 3 pillars slide. So the safest combination for our digital society that is very, very essential. So whatever we do, and especially when it covers the startup sector and the business sector, then we always need to have these 3 pillars, which is confidentiality, availability, and integrity. So to explain that in a little bit easier words, so to have, first of all, a way to identify everyone, also the business owners, by a very safe manner. So we don't believe in such thing as having just a username and a password, but we want to provide everyone a chance to have a very safe way to make sure that the system accessing the platform. So the ID cards, mobile ID solutions, smart ID solutions, and the residency card for all of you who are listening and who are not Estonian citizen and who don't live here currently. And then availability, so to make sure that our businesses can exchange information with our registries, with our different platforms, with other businesses in a very secure, safe manner. By using our data exchange platform called Extrude, which is the cornerstone of everything that we do here in Estonia. And the last but not least side here is the integrity, so that we have been providing the security level also for the cyber aspects here. So Estonia, as I pointed out before, is using KSI blockchain. And then also we don't only have armed forces here in Estonia, but we also have cyber forces, which are called Cyber Command. And we also have a backup plan. So great news for all of the business owners here is that their data about their businesses have been also backed up to our backup store, to the data embassy, which is based in Luxembourg. So if there would be anything happening, someone burning down some of our servers, business environment servers, like especially business registries, then that wouldn't be a problem, because we also have backed up this to Luxembourg, where we could get all this information back as well here. And now getting to the business side here, who wouldn't like to talk about business? So I guess we realized already since the very, very beginning of the days that when we want to build a very efficient state, then we need to make sure that our business environment is the most simple and fastest environment that one could even think about. So today, I'm happy to tell you that you can start a company without even having to leave home. I'm currently here in my cottage house in south of Estonia in the middle of the forest. And if I would feel today that I want to run a new business, I don't have to make any physical visits to the capital city or bigger cities to register any kind of documents. I can just plug in my ID card and I can establish a new business with less than 3 hours. And 3 hours is even way too much, because usually if you have done that already before, then it takes you around 15-17 minutes to register everything. And we're going to also provide many proactive services by the e-business register. So if you register a new business, then you can also already register your employees, get the VIT number, and all this information is being shared with different platforms as well here. So we want to make sure that also the entire running business sense would be also fully paperless and hassle-free. So one of the first services that we started providing to the citizens and for the businesses was tax declaration. And since the year of 1999, you heard it right, for more than 20 years, we have been declaring all of our taxes fully online. So we are currently working also to have our tax declaration and reporting working automatically, so that our businesses wouldn't have to spend too much time on going to logging into different institutions and then just like making the reports and confirming the reports. But this could be just automated, so that they would proactively receive just an emails from our state that would say that your tax return or your information is like this. Is everything correct? Do you want to confirm that? Then that's all you got to do. And now we're going to talk about the e-residency, which I promised you focus most here. So just to also the random facts before that is that today already 98% of our companies have been established online, 99% of the banking are done online, and also 98% of tax declarations are fully filed online. And when we focus on these three aspects here regarding the business environment, then 5 years ago, we realized that this is fantastic, that we in Estonia here, 1.3 million people, can do these things fully online without having to go through any kind of hassle. But why not to provide the same solution for people who are not Estonians and people who don't live here? And we were thinking, okay, there has to be a way. And I'm happy to tell you that today, I mean, already 5 years ago, 5.5, if I'm correct now, we provided a solution for absolutely everyone. So the e-residency card that everyone can apply online without having to make any physical visits here to Estonia. You can go to e-residency homepage, and then you can just fully apply online, fill in your background. If you fill in your background, then our police would just make sure that you're not criminal. That's all we need to know. And if everything is okay with that sense, then we will send these e-residency cards that you can also see on the slide to the nearest embassy to your country, where you can go, pick it up, and then start registering your business. So what kind of advantages would you have by using this e-residency solution? First of all, you can run fully location independent business. We don't ever ask you to come here to Estonia, that you would have to have your offices and run your things here. Not really, no. You can do that wherever you are in the world. But what kind of things you would get from this program here would have also access to the European Union market. I'm pretty sure we have some people listening to me right now who are not living in any kind of European Union country. So if you establish the business by using e-residency solution, then you can fully run your business all across the European Union. You don't have to sign any kind of special deals with any other country, no agreements, no hassle, no paperwork, because you are an Estonian company. So you have access to everything in the European Union market. And of course, with this solution, you will also get digital signature, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people, especially also inside of the European Union, have applied for the card. And just to also talk about like why this is so necessary is that I'm pretty sure some of you who are company owners here have also departments or your business partners living in other countries. And usually it takes a lot of time and a lot of money to send different agreements and papers from one place to another place. And you have to wait a couple of weeks, even sometimes, to receive the documents. But here with these solutions, if your business partners also have the e-residency card, then they can sign all the documents also online, and just with a couple of seconds all these paperworks have been fully signed, and there is no need to use any kind of FedEx system to send your documents from one side of the world to another side of the world. To talk about the numbers, how many people have already applied for this card? As I said, we started just 5 years ago, and today we have already people from more than 160 countries who have applied, and around 70,000 people who already have e-residency cards who have applied for that. And these people have already established 10,000 companies. Can you believe that? In the past 5 years, there has been more than 10,000 companies established by using this solution. And maybe if you want to know which countries are the most commonly using this system, then first of all, countries that have a very bureaucratic system when it comes to establishing businesses. And one of the largest numbers of people who have applied and have also established companies are from Germany, for example. Then also France, from Italy. Then, of course, we have people outside of the European Union, such as Ukraine and Russia. Then, of course, also China, India, UK. Soon, the numbers of UK are, by the way, increasingly, increasing rapidly. And of course, also from US and many places that don't belong to the European Union. But if we especially try to find out the reasons why the European Union countries have applied for that, is because, as I said, that they have a very bureaucratic system, and in order to establish a business, then it takes them much longer than having this solution and doing everything, which is a couple of minutes as well. Estonia has already get also 31 million taxes that have been paid to Estonia. But when we continue now to talk about the taxes side here, I'm just going to jump over for her quickly here, and then we're going to go back to that previous one here. So when you would ask me, do I have to pay some taxes to Estonia, or how is this process managed? I'm happy to tell you that Estonian corporate tax level is 0. So if you have employees here in Estonia, and if you sometimes also like to come here, then you can of course also choose Estonia, a country where you'd like to pay your taxes, and then it's 0. So if you reinvest the money to your profit to your company, then that's the only way that you have to pay the taxes. But otherwise, it's fully 0 on that side here. So that's why we have been also attracting many people to establish their business here. But jumping back to that side here, so to also show you that we are doing pretty good in many international rankings here. The first one in Tax Foundation, we're holding the #1 position International Tax Competitiveness Index here, and then #3 position here in Index of Economic Freedom in the European Union. Then, for example, World Economic Forum in 2017 said that we are #1 also on entrepreneurial activity, and ease of doing business in the world is ranked on position number 18, which we're also super excited about as well here. But just to show you that why do we also have a very friendly startup environment here. So today we have more than 1,000 startups that have been established here. And as I promised to talk about the latest news, some great news. So just a couple of days ago, we also got ourselves the new unicorn. So today we have 5 unicorns in Estonia. So a company that have revenue more than 1 billion euros. And this is the global top per capita. So no other country per capita has so many unicorns that as we have here in Estonia. And of course, all of these unicorn companies are doing something regarding the ICT sector. And then what we also offer for people who also have e-residency card is an Estonian startup visa and a digital nomad visa. So if anyone wants to move also to the European Union, then if they fill all the requirements, they already have established a business and also hold an e-residency card, then there is a chance to also get easier way to get the visa to live here. So we provide these startup visas and digital nomad visas to everyone who are keen to run a very efficient and very cool startup here in the European Union. And of course, as I put it out thousands of times already, so our ecosystem is very supportive, and again, you can avoid all this kind of hustle and paperwork that you would have to do in some other countries, and just enjoy this completely online based business environment that we have provided to our people. So what are the key benefits of all of this? Obviously, I guess all of you are pretty smart there and know exactly that this kind of system helps all the businesses to save cost and time, and of course raise much efficiency, and of course also to give much more transparency of the system, because when you would like to find business partners here in Estonia, then there is always a wonderful chance to make sure in e-business register what kind of information you can already see about this company. So we see all the supervisory board members who are the beneficials in this company, what's their annual report for the taxes, how well they're actually doing, and all this information is available. So we say that the business environment has to be as transparent as possible, and Estonia today also has one of the lowest level of corruption rates in the European Union because of this transparency that we have provided. And of course, for all the companies, it provides much better overview of their budget and the cost and everything, and this provides them obviously then as a next step much smarter ways to make decisions based on the actual real data that they're collecting 24 hours. And again, they can focus on their visions and ideas on the startup scenes, and not only for the paperwork side, which I'm pretty sure annoys every one of you there. So also to finish with the last slide here is our lessons learned slide. So as we have been running this business environment already in the past, I would say more than 20 years now. So we have some lessons that you could learn from. And we always say that for all the startup founders, I'm pretty sure that you realize that everything that you do should be always based on a principle of KISS. So always try to keep that short and simple. And this is exactly what we have been doing also by the government sector here, by providing the very friendly business environment to our citizens and the e-residency card holders, by always keeping a KISS principle in mind, so that when we build the e-business registries or any kind of other platforms that our business holders have to be using, then it has to be short and simple, so that everyone, no matter of their background or their knowledge in this sector, would understand how things actually works. And once again, I never get tired of saying that, but transparency is the only thing that works in a long term. So I fully encourage everyone that if you are looking for a very transparent environment for your business, that there wouldn't be any secrets anywhere, or no, and like the government wouldn't be using your information for a bad taste, then Estonia is the right place for you, because transparency remains one of the main key aspects whatever we do here, and will continue to be very essential. And last but not least, all these success story in our business environment has been possible only because we have been working very closely since day number one together with our private sector. So we haven't done absolutely anything alone in our public sector scene, but we have been asking these ICT company leaders since the day number one to be sitting on exact same table with us, and we have been just delivering the message that we need to start building these services, doing these things for the business environment. Are you able to help us here? Are you able to deliver these things to us? And they have in the past 25 years already. And that shows exactly that why we, like everyone else, to understand that let's keep working together with the private sector. And one more thing that should be included there would be academia sector. So when public, private, and academia sectors are working together, I can promise to you that magic can happen, and this has happened here. And I guess Estonia is a perfect example for the rest of the world, that when you do this close cooperation between that many sectors, then you can do anything, and you can dream as high as you want to here. So that was a very quick 25 minutes conclusion why Estonia would be a great place for your business, and why we encourage everyone to think about EU as their main market, and Estonia would be a great door for all of you who have been thinking about running their business here in the European Union side here. So I would like to say thank you, and I do hope that you now have some questions to me as well.
Thank you very, very much, Anett. Yes, let's jump right to these questions. I saw some interesting questions. So let's see. We have two people actually asking. I have a friend in Syria. No, I have a Syrian friend living in Lebanon, but he can't get the e-Estonia card because there is no embassy in Syria, neither in Lebanon. What are the available ways to get it?
Yeah, so this is currently what we're working on a lot, because we are a very small country, and having an embassy is a very expensive thing. Let's be honest. We today only have 34 embassies in the world, but I'm happy to say that just a couple of months ago, our minister also released a plan that they're looking for service providers now to these countries where we don't have an embassy, so that one day, if there is also, let's say, our honorary consul or any kind of other service provider, so that they could also get the cards there. But right now, I'm very sad to tell, but these people who live in countries where there is no Estonian embassy, then we still require you to travel to the nearest Estonian embassy to you. So you still have to go there because we need your fingerprints and some kind of security that you actually exist. Otherwise, again, there will be some kind of risk there. But honestly, we're very much working on that to find solution for people who don't have an Estonian embassy in their country, and hopefully the process could go well as well.
Okay, then we have Fatma asking, how would an Egyptian citizen start a company in terms of taxes and legal papers?
So the very first step that we need to do is, I mean, if you register a business, that when especially compare with some other countries, then there is a requirement that you need to have some money on your account. There is no kind of requirement from our side here. So all you got to do if you already get the card is that you just log into the system, you activate your card, and then you can log into the e-business register, where all the steps are in English, so you can just go there, read the legal background there. But as I said, regarding the taxes side, this is usually the most complicated part, because every country would like to tax you wherever you are. But we have tried to make it as clear as possible that you pay your taxes to the country where you're mostly at. So if you still, let's say you are based in Germany, just an example, and you never come to Estonia, or you don't have any employees in Estonia by your company or one-man company, then you still pay your taxes to Germany. But you can still do all this registering and the legal part from our platforms. The only things that you need to have by the legal side is also to have an address. So to register your company here, you need a legal address. But that's why we also have many Estonian companies who are with a very small price They are happy to give you an address where you can register your business, and then of course also they can help you with if you need to do any kind of reports or anything. So they can be also your bookkeepers, accountants, and help you with all the paperwork. So this is usually how it works. I have only received good good feedback from my friends who have been registering their business, because these companies are very happy to help everyone regarding registering. But usually a lot of people are able to do these things alone by themselves.
Okay, so there's someone asking where they can contact you if they need further information.
They can go, you know my name from here, so you can go all the way to LinkedIn. I am also answering my messages right over there. And then if the questions are very concrete, then we can set up a call. Our team and the E-Residency team would be very happy to guide you, to help you. And all these very specific questions can be sent to my LinkedIn, and then we can continue with the communication that side.
Okay, perfect. So I say we close the session right here. Thank you very, very much for this insight. There were some impressive numbers that you mentioned. And yeah, everyone that has still some questions, feel free to contact her on LinkedIn, and she'll be happily responding all of your questions.
Thanks for having me today.
Thank you very much for joining. And yeah, make sure that you join the last few sessions of the day. And yeah, have a nice evening. Bye.